Good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully you're doing well on this warm Tuesday here in Southern California. Greetings for all of you joining me here on the different social networks. Front and center, I have Instagram. To my right is YouTube. My left is TikTok. And down a little bit lower is my podcasting network. So thank you guys for joining. And for those of you who know me well, you know that I'm wearing this crazy wig for a reason. For those of you who don't know me quite well, please kindly allow me to elaborate why I'm wearing this ridiculous old school wig that where I'm from, West Africa, Nigeria to be exact, our magistrates and judges wear this, okay? Founding father looking, trying to come out collab, says TT. Thank you so much for that. You must have gone to Turkey, says SMS. No, not quite. No Turkey here yet. Are you coming to Monterey? Yes, Jet Jasper. I plan to be there with 3 vehicles in tote. Some good variety too. And speaking of variety, that is the reason why I'm wearing this. Tamolin says, no way. Well, this is my do not judge me wig, right? Don't judge me because honestly, guys, I get so many individuals judging me left and right. It's absolutely ridiculous around my choices on what to build. Look forward to seeing you there as well, Jasper. I'll be doing Works for Union. I'll be doing the RM Smothery's, auction. I'll be on Exotics on Broadway. I do the 17-mile drive. It's gonna be great, you know? Thomas says, all noise? Are you not hearing me properly? Let me know if you're not, and I'll make some corrections. Unless you're referring to the nonsense I mentioned earlier on about the do not judge me thing. So I'm wearing the do not judge me wig because people, certain individuals, enthusiasts, are judging my choices of propulsion on my fun cars. So look around me here in this room in particular. I have a Model 3 slammed right here next to me. I have a center drive Porsche that we built for track duty that's electrified or being electrified. That right there, the brown right there is gonna be a petrol engine. The wagon right there is petrol. The inside is petrol. The 914 right here is petrol. I have quite a bit. AV Overland says the wig is back. Yep, because people are messing with me, AV Overland, my brother. It's crazy. Good afternoon to you, Builds and Banter. Thank you so much. CRX, not quite. That's the Insight and the wagon. Luckily, unfortunately, no CRX here, you know? Come down to Haggerty Down Patrol. Jet Jasper, I'm down. Let me know. I don't know anything about that. Send me a DM on some particulars and I'll be there. I'll bring a bunch of cars out. It should be fun. Indeed. So the challenge I'm seeing, guys, are people being very vicious. Certain individuals, all of a sudden recently, vicious about my choice in building performance EVs and saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm full of crap. It's rubbish. It's garbage. No soul, quiet, I'm not a true enthusiast. It's weird, right? And I try to really understand the judgment. Why is that the case? Because initially, yes, I was a diehard petrol head and didn't care anything about EVs because I didn't know any better. But then I built quite a few performance EVs, continue to build some crazy stuff back there in the shop. There's so many cool cars back there that get built. And to be honest with you, the EV stuff is amazing, different, has its own sound, yet not crazy loud. I can't shoot flames, not on purpose, because that can be a problem, but the performance, you cannot shake a stick at. And people are saying it's garbage or rubbish, and I've had everything from calling me a pedophile, or even crazy, a Biden pedo, which is kind of weird, to a bozo, all these things just because I build performance EVs. And as I dig deeper, I don't get the hate. And maybe you guys can shed light on it. The funny thing is, if someone's experience with EVs, whether it's by hearsay or personal experiences, maybe this puppy right here, which is the Model 3 Standard Range Plus, I may get how it can feel a little appliance-like because it's a commuter car driving around, giving me point A to point B, not a crazy performance car, but it's pretty fast, but it's a commuter vehicle. It's a daily driver vehicle. It's like comparing this to a petrol car that's let's say, a Mitsubishi Colt, or in front of my shop here, there is a Saturn Vue. So it's like comparing all petrol cars, Ferraris, Lambos, Porsches, Lexi, can I say Lexus, Lexi? Any cars that are really fun to drive and build, the Corvette, see it, it's like comparing those to the Saturn Vue or RAV4 Toyota. If you drove a RAV4 Toyota, I said that's the only car that's a petrol in nature. You drive around, you're like, I don't see any invoking a soul or cool sounds or whatever people are complaining about, you know? People beat the rear minerals to death, and I kind of have a good argument with that because even building petrol cars and using petrol is there's a lot of rare earth metals I use to refine, so you can't do that. It's just a pure hate for it, which is really, really sad. CNG car, says Viras Kanti. I don't know what that's referring. Hello, Viras, nonetheless. Good seeing you, Viras. Good afternoon, says Lawrence. How's your day going so far? Good, good. Where am I from? Originally, I'm from Nigeria, West Africa, but I'm here in Ontario, California right now. What's up with the wig, says Warrior Fella. I'm telling you, it's my Do Not Judge Me wig. Yeah, I have my Puro hat right here. I'll throw it on in a moment. But I'm just wearing this when people really, really, really mess with me when it comes to my choice in propulsion. Because I build them all, and I enjoy them all. I mean, the Odyssey is right there. That thing is 100% petrol. Well, let me take a step back. Internal combustion, but runs on alcohol, runs on ethanol. So that's my closest thing to be able to have performance and a fuel that's renewable that makes me feel better. But the EV stuff, having zero emissions from the tailpipe is something I love. I also love the immediate torque. I love that I used to break axles back in the day on slicks. And with the EVs on street tires, I snap axles, and I have companies like, see this right here? This is my new axle set, custom axle, 18 and a quarter. And this is what I have to do. Look how beefy this is, guys. Beefy axle with some speed boots. So at high speeds, I don't fling oil everywhere. And even this from Drive Shaft Shop, by the way. Great guys out of Indy. Love these guys. Their stuff is robust. If you ever have challenges, they got your back. They'll take care of you. But this stuff is just amazing. And one hand has a nice swivel. This was a little more fixed. So when you do regen, you don't have any clanking. This is my axle of choice. It's really amazing indeed. And with this, I don't break anymore. If I break anything, I'll probably break my stud inside the wheel itself. There's so much torque. Have you ever experienced 700 pound-foot of torque at 1 RPM? You know? Kevin says, but EVs start out as a big diesel earth mover digging it up. That's for every car, IDB Kevin, who I love, by the way. Kevin is a good friend of mine and has brought some really cool cars here to get tuned. And if you ever see a 4-door EF out there that looks a little sus, leave it alone because he will smoke you. But everyone says EVs, you have to dig it, you have to do that for, it's worth for crude, right? Same thing with cobalt that's being used in both. Cobalt is used for desulfurizing fossil fuels or crude oil when it comes out. It's used in battery production. All things being equal, if you do the math properly, not big oil influence math, just take your time and do the math on the energies required to build each car, you come up with the same thing. And let's say that people are so gung-ho against batteries. Then why have a laptop? Why have a smartwatch? Why have a cell phone? Same technology. I just don't get it. But as a performance guy who likes to feel good about things as well, I'm telling you guys, you haven't lived life until you experience 700 plus pound-foot of torque at 1 RPM. That is the acceleration, the lack of lag that you even see with naturally aspirated setups. Yes, naturally aspirated setups do take advantage of atmospheric pressure, which is 14.7 psi, pounds per square inch here on Earth, at least close to sea level. You still have air being pushed in. The same air that kind of fills our lungs is what allows us to have natural aspiration. And when you floor it, you think you're getting immediate acceleration, get into an EV. Just try it. So I'm just saying, guys, have an open mind, net. You know. So you're not really here, are you? Is this an old one or something? Richard Cranium from TikTok saying no. I am live and direct here, and I'm answering many questions. So Richard, I have you here on TikTok. I have questions front and center here on Instagram, And I have some questions here on YouTube as well, and I'm trying to do a smashing job in addressing everyone at the same time, which is pretty good, you know? Take my strong hand, so you take care of my CRZ, right there in the showroom, absolutely. Let's see. Let's see, someone's misbehaving here. Actually, no wait. The time frame reference is boring, so Tesla, they're seeing it from that perspective. No, wait, their frame of reference is boring as Tesla. So yeah, that's true. So Kavod, fellow engineer and fellow enthusiast as well, who understands my passion for everything fast, saying the same thing. People are referencing all EVs based on a Leaf or an earlier EV1 or a base Tesla Model S or a base Model Y or Model 3. If you judge all EVs based upon those, you're not going to be excited. Same way that you have an Aventador that's twin turboed versus a stock, call me crazy, a bone stock Fit. How do you compare it to? A stock Fit doesn't invoke anything. It's just a cool commuter car, which is very versatile, by the way, but doesn't really invoke any emotion for you and give you a lot of fun. And that's the same thing with a Model 3. Even though you could have, you mess around. I mean, Jonathan just picked up a Model 3 performance. It runs 12 stock. That thing gets up, but as you're cruising, it's not like, it doesn't give you anything crazy. Look at one of Bisimoto's videos when you have a chance, go on YouTube and look up the K3V. Listen to that whine, that supercharger whine. I can't even have a conversation in that car. It's so loud and it's so much fun, and the torque and acceleration is absolutely amazing. So guys, Jessica said, wow, yep. Hun, I'm wearing my hat, I'm wearing my do not judge me wig, because I've been getting a lot of judgment from people who are just being very difficult, you know? Randomly seeing BC live on TikTok, says Pilot Alpha Kilo. What a legend. I remember reading about you in the magazines. Thank you so much. If you pay attention to my, whether here on TikTok or other social networks, I do a Throwback Thursday. I've been going back, digging through the crates and showing some of the things we did back in the day. It was a lot of fun, you know, which is really good. Aventador SVJ or A12 Comp. Oh, Aventador. I like those. I like those. And I like the clients. They're crazy just like me who want to do crazy things with them, you know? I like Honda Fits. Very versatile indeed, says 50 Tyson. Yes, I agree with you as well, Tyson. However, imagine judging every petrol car on a versatile fit. People say petrol engines suck, right? So what's my frame of mind? I say, guys, I take this off. I say, let's make things good for everyone. Let's respect everyone's mode of propulsion. Let's have an open mind when it comes to technologies, and let's focus on the things we love, which is going fast and having fun. If you love petrol cars and want to, die on that sword, that's just fine. If you love EVs and want to die on that, great too. You love steam engines, like Jay Leno does from time to time. Have fun. How about this? You love vehicles that run on hydrogen. Knock yourself out. But also for people like myself who love anything, whether it's hydrogen, petrol, EV, and it's fast and fun and invokes a sense of enjoyment, do it. There's not one car I have that's stock, nothing. Whether it's my 21 Kona electric to the wagon right there, all-wheel drive, sequential, turbo, monster. Oh, you can even see the Odyssey. I don't know, can you guys see the Odyssey? Should I open that door some more? The Odyssey is right there. And I'm doing some more mods to that as well. No matter the case, enjoy. Let's appreciate everyone. I see lowriders, not my thing, but I can appreciate and love lowriders. Think of it as music. People can appreciate country. I do. Country, rock and roll, classic rock, alternative, lo-fi, hip hop, rap. I like all of these. I'm not dying on one type of genre of music. Consider our scene as one that's so beautiful like music. You have so much variety: diesel, gasoline, alcohol, full-blown, electric, hydrogen, ammonia, steam. Enjoy them all. They're great. K-pop. Yeah, I like K-pop. Shut up, Jonathan. Jonathan said K-pop. Oh my God. So it's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous indeed, I prefer fossil fuels over EVs, says 50 Tyson. Do share why. Have you driven a performance EV before and compared to performance electric and compared to, performance ICE? Are you being an earlier pre-2017 BC, pre-2018 BC? Are you being that where, guys, honestly, I'm guilty of the same thing. I don't even deserve this wig. No, I do. I'm gonna put it on again. I'm gonna put this on again. Okay, so. I am guilty of the same thing. Guilty. I need a gavel. I need to buy a gavel. Can someone send me a gavel? Mail me a gavel. Here at Bisimoto. Lindsay's over there laughing. I need a gavel to hit. Anyway, I'm very guilty of the same thing. And I never experienced a performance EV. I never even sat in one. And I just said they're garbage because of what people were telling me in my ear. I was reading what Big Oil was putting out there because after all, they're lining their pockets with resources from crude oil that cannot be put back in the ground. I think in the future, our kids or grandkids will say, Dad, Mom, you actually dug up stuff out of the ground, refined it, and put in your car to move around? How dumb, But on the same token, that's beside the point. This is not something that has to do more environmental, even though it's a nice bonus. The main thing is freaking fast, guys. I went to Fuel Fest, didn't even run good times. Track prep was not even great. And I kicked off at 9.4 on street tires, driving there with AC and driving home. Well, actually, Jonathan drove it home because I had to ride the Moby. But imagine how much would it cost me to build a low 9-second street car that passes emissions on street tires with AC. Jonathan just ordered a gavel. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it. I'm going to use that generously. Gavel, 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 gavel. Whoa, beautiful Marcel, says Drew for life. I don't know, driver for life. I don't know what that means. Let's see here. I would love to see you tune a 2025 Porsche 911 GTS Hybrid on the Link Standalone Voodoo Pro. Lawrence, I like where your head is. I have a meeting with some executives with Porsche this afternoon. Maybe I bring that up. Can you ship me the Porsche behind you, says Trues on YouTube. Absolutely, for a small fee. Done. Consider done. No problem whatsoever. Okay, let's see. What am I missing here? Okay, but if you take out the all-wheel drive away from the EVs, they would have most of the same problems. Not necessarily, Kevin, and I appreciate that sentiment. The K3V is rear-wheel drive only, and that thing, my 060 is 206. One of the fastest EVs on this planet is a McMultry out of UK, rear-wheel drive only, and it's faster than, dare I say, any all-wheel drive vehicle, period, let alone high-performance street vehicle, that is, street vehicle, let alone EVs. It uses a kind of fan suction system to help with adhesion to the tarmac. So yeah, there are opportunities there. All I'm saying, guys, is let's all just appreciate everyone. Let's all respect everyone's choice. Let's all get along when it comes to propulsion. And let's enjoy. Many of you here with me have similar roots to mine, meaning a lot of us grew up racing sport compact cars and modifying sport compact vehicles. And many of you, especially the older chaps, my peers, would remember the time we go to the track and people would talk crap to us, domestic guys. Do you remember how that felt? When people would call us, rice rockets, where's the soy sauce, is our rubber band gonna break? We have our fart cans. I mean, people were making fun of us and calling us names and saying what we're doing is so dumb and stupid. Fast forward to today, and Kevin said, hit me. Fast forward to today, going to Fuel Fest, I overheard the same domestic guys saying, oh man, you gotta watch out for these cars. They are very, very fast. Tumble Leaf says, I remember that. And there was a Civic I ran, and I beat him because I ran a better reaction time, but this Civic clicked off an 8.6 in Pomona. I don't remember seeing any domestics even running 8s out there. There are some running 9s, low 9s, but no one running. I didn't see any 8.7 cars there. Now Honda's doing the same Hondas they used to make fun of us, breaking rubber bands, fart cans, soy sauce, rice rockets, all these just derogatory names they're calling us, Sir SIG said, would you consider being in the last Fast and Furious movie if casting called? Yes, I would. We've had cars, our blue Porsche has been in that as well. That's kind of how I met Sung Kang, and we kind of hit it off. by presenting our vehicle as extra cars for the, I think it was Fast Five, I believe. You know, it's pretty good, you know? Why is traction control on a lot of all-wheel drive EVs so dialed in, but really hard to get combustion engine all-wheel drive to keep the tires planted without breaking traction? Because of the way that torque is managed. Remember, Surya Garcia, petrol cars start off with a very low torque, low efficiency motor, ramps up to the highest efficiency at peak torque and falls off as well. And by doing that, it kind of limits what you can do to kind of hone in that adhesion. Because either even a boosted application where it's very paramount, or natural aspiration, like on that car right there, my front wheel drive Insight, we had to use very interesting protocols like ignition cut, fuel cut, throttle reduction electronically. So where we're using drive-by-wire and kind of using the opening of the throttle to quickly, with a feedback loop, limit torque to the wheel so it can have traction. Otherwise, we're using ignition cut, which is very nice and easy to recover from. Fuel cut is even more aggressive, but harder to recover from, because once you cut fuel, it takes time to kind of let it ramp in. It's tough to really get a perfect opportunity whether using slew rate or ignition. Slew rate meaning you're limiting using ignition timing or ignition cut or fuel cut to limit the amount of acceleration. While with EVs, guys, it's crazy how easy torque management is, where you have infinite control over torque. You can make things, you can use the brakes to slow things down, and slowing things down using some type of can control is much faster and much more efficient than ignition cut and trying to recover, because you're now cutting spark every other revolution, and now you're following your plugs, and then you have to clean the plugs and ramp it back in. All that takes time and efficiency and doesn't make for a very good traction control system. Can it be done? Yes, with a lot of work, but for me to perfect the Insight, it took me years. While with the K3V, I think it took me literally the back of the shop, like a few minutes, and I was 100% good. So it's the protocol, it's how energy is being utilized and how it's being absorbed to the ground, and how you can manage such adhesion is a challenge because of how power is created with different platforms. Much easier with EVs and petrol. Now, what does that do for us as builders? It's a good challenge, right? To be able to do really cool things. So yeah, absolutely. It is a challenge, and you know, it's good. Habit of mine says he can't prove what he say. Cats or can't or can? Please elaborate. Sunny96, number 2 gifter badge. And habit, in case you're referencing that I cannot prove, I'm not here on this Bisimoto Tech2sDay to prove things. That's not the goal of this session. The reason that I do this Tech2sDay is to be that person I needed when I was younger. When I came to the United States and I wanted to learn about vehicles, people wouldn't help me at all. I was shunned away from shops. Get out of here, little kid, African kid. Get out of here. Just, if you want us to work your car, leave a bunch of cash and we'll fix it for you. But I want to understand technology. And I couldn't. And then John Concetti from AEM took me under his wing, followed by Barry Meza from Arias, and Nick Arias II, and then Ed Iskandarian, Laurie Dunlop. These are people who really helped me and pushed me in the right direction. And it felt good being able to have individuals who were knowledgeable impart that knowledge. Bob Godfrey is another one who does a lot of crazy nostalgic racing. And he taught me everything he knew about designing and racing in the 60s and 70s and 80s. And I kind of absorbed some of that information and kind of made it my own. I was the first front-wheel drive Honda period to even use aluminum rods, because he told me how to do it. And now it's a common thing, but we were the very first because I listened to an OG that helped me understand the benefits of aluminum rods. And they're amazing from a cost perspective, from a knock absorption perspective, from a weight perspective. There's so many benefits to aluminum rods, and learning from the old timers allowed me to do that. Not having a closed mind, having an open mind, absorbing things like I have, you know? Spider-Man 520 gave me a number 3 gifter badge. Thank you so much. Spider-Man 520, appreciate the kind gesture. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Spider-Man said, love your work. Appreciate that. The best is yet to come. And I just had my wig here a moment ago, my Do Not Judge Me wig, which I love so dearly. Talk about axles, why I used to snap axles like crazy. Never snapped axles on a 900,000 horsepower Porsche. And I'm using factory stuff, right? Factory 997, never snapped it. But I went EV with like barely 600, snapped it immediately because the torque. The torque is just, the acceleration is out of control. It hurts. The guy who's filming me inside the video you'll see on YouTube, when you do a search for Bisimoto K3V, go on YouTube, the gentleman who's filming me got sick from the torque, sick. And I've got sick. I've tuned Ford GT Petrol V8 on an AEM Series 1. And as we're doing some street kind of torque management, I got a little car sick because I was looking at a laptop and I could just feel this movement. No, this guy had a camera, and by the second test, he was done. It was crazy. It was crazy, you know? Corvote says, another build challenge suggestion. Corvote, by the way, is a bad influence on me. He's one of the reasons why that Rolls Royce exists back there. You're too expensive. I cannot afford your Corvote. Cut it out. But let me see what she said. Let me give him a forum here. Let's see what he has in mind. He says, a performance conversion, but using only junkyard parts and open source, open hardware components. I like the first part a lot. I like that idea. Junkyard parts, batteries, onboard chargers, drive unit, inverter, all from junkyards. Could make it pretty, even the connectors, right? Whether it's CCS1 or NACS or J1772, these are plug nomenclature I'm using, by the way. The one place I don't agree with you, my good friend, fellow engineer, Corvote, is on the open source hardware. My experience has been coming from both the petrol side and also exploring the EV side. A lot of times open source stuff doesn't have the fail safes in place that can make things ideal for us builders. At least something I want to be able to drive myself, race, put my family in, be able to provide with a client, give to you to drive, right? So an ECU would be one that's robust, that has good support, and that the hardware is quite reliable. It's very important to me. And I'm talking about, you know, from back in the Honda days, dealing with Chrome, which is open source. I think Uber Data was another open source kind of setup. Those don't exist as well. There's some Subaru stuff that's out there. I've seen some open inverter stuff on the EV side. And I've had motors here that have burnt IGBTs from using open source stuff. And I've had people expire. I've had a vehicle completely tuned on Chrome. Everything is done. Customer drives off, and by the time it gets to the end of the parking lot, car stops running. I plug in, and every parameter I put in there were all zeros. Like it just glitched. And there's no incentive for the creator, financially, of course, that's a good incentive, to be able to modify, uphold, make sure that things are robust. That's why I like the AEM stuff. I like the Link stuff. I like the Honda stuff because they're constantly improving. Yes, Sammy Valdez, I agree with you. Link ECU would be his choice. Yeah, that's my choice when it goes to everything, maybe hybrid, petrol, and all that fun stuff. I'm really excited to play around with their software and hardware this year. Yeah, I like what they're about. I really like the Link ECU stuff a lot, you know? So, Cyril Garcia, thank you for that wonderful question. That was a really good one indeed. Thank you. You know? Kevin says because the EVs are basically one big computer trying to figure it out all the time. So a lot to dissect there, my friend, because I guess everything I've done on the petrol side is what I'm doing on the EV side. And I mean that. With the M16, for example, it's a Porsche setup in a 935 tribute body, water-cooled engine with full drive-by-wire. My braking is computerized. My ECU is computerized. My throttle is electric throttle. My boost control is electronic. Everything communicates via CAN to the body distribution. My tail lights are CAN-based. Headlights are CAN-based. I don't see anything with exception of the heart, the power plant itself. I don't see any more computing systems in my electric 935 than that petrol one. As a matter of fact, because of the boost control and the drive-by-wire, the CAN-based dual widebands, there are more sensors and a lot more modules in my petrol car than in my EV 935. Just is. When you go to the power plant, of course, there's less moving parts in the EV one, a lot more reliability. I can't blow a head gasket, I can't leak oil, not by design. I can't drop a valve. There's so many. What does the petrol one have that's pretty cool? I love shooting flames. Sometimes I just love hearing the spool of the turbo and the blow-off valve screaming. I love diesel and and that almost like the burble that happens. The van does that a lot. I like some of the attention I get. I also get a lot of attention with EVs when they're not as loud. So, but there's some good things about my petrol stuff that I like. I do love the smell of E85. I love the smell of ethanol burning. But when it comes to pure performance and the props of going to a track with AC on and street tires and clicking off a low 9, high 8 and then going home, that is pimp. That is pretty cool. And the fact that I don't have to worry about going to a petrol station or touching a pump or going to grab jugs at E85, the fact that I can charge at home with my solar and not have to pay a penny, there's so many good things. I'm smiling because I just remember how much fun my cars are. You guys, many of you have seen me around LA, and I just dropped my marker. I've been doing a lot of wiring today and marking. See me driving around LA, and most of the time you see me, I'm driving some EV. Whether it's the spacious Honda Prologue that I drove today, and the family loves it with bags, it looks good, amazing. I mean, I could pull up to a meet with a bunch of G-Wagon Mercedes-Benz, and it fits right. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I've gone to breaking meets with it. I've gone to exotic shows with it and Cars and Coffee. It's a great car. To the Moby X, which I'll be driving this weekend like crazy. The cars are freaking fun, guys. Just fun. I like hitting corners in the MX-5S, says Sammy Valdez. And if you're speaking of the Mazda Miata, I love Mazdas. I love MX-5s. I love them all. It's the most fun I've had with little horsepower, about 200 horsepower. I've never had as much fun as I have with Mazdas. Those Miatas are a lot of fun indeed. Robert Z says, BC, how do you take notes? Pen and paper, or do you have some software, phone app, etc. to share? Two ways. I do take notes next to my bed. I do have a pen, paper, and pad. I do write ideas there. Here in shop is a combination of using my phone and using Apple Notes to take notes and even give myself reminders where I can click on and show it's completed. I also have folders here of just hard paper because I like to scribble. I'm still old school. I still draft from time to time, even though I have access to CAD and Fusion 360 and I use my Flash Forge to 3D print. I still CAD from time to time. I'm still romantic that way, if you think about it, Motec N, hello, Gabe, sir. I love your car and so does my son. By the way, guys, Motec N has a beautiful Veloster N. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Very well, tastefully modified. So can you give us a hint of what you're doing for SEMA this year? You never disappoint on your bills. Thank you so much. It's going to be unique. I can tell you as we sit, and that number could multiply significantly. As we sit today, I have 3, God, I'm thinking 4 now, but let's say 3. Oh, it is 4. But I'll give you 3. I have 3 vehicles I'm taking to SEMA this year. It's already 4, but okay. See what can I hint? See the Odyssey right there? A newer version is coming to SEMA. Pay attention, guys. It's between myself, Record Honda is dipping their toe and helping us a little bit. The guys from Jordan Distributors Incorporated, part of this build. The team's been working on it every week for weeks now. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna be unlike anything we've ever done. It's gonna be amazing. Petrol, by the way, hint, 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 Petrol. Clean petrol, cleaner. Am I giving too much away? Okay, so that's 1. I'm also doing a 935 twin turbo. Yes, you heard twin turbo. Very unique, set up for some amazing sickness, unlike anything I've ever done. Link, are you listening? I think I'll be part of that. 3rd one, electric. I'm doing an electric, beautiful, that just the most technologically advanced electric car I've ever built on 2 wheels. There's one I'm doing right now, it's 4 wheels, gonna be just as amazing, crazy, but this one is gonna be the most advanced. So stay tuned. If you can make it out of SEMA, come out, it will not disappoint. If you cannot, pay attention to my feeds, my YouTube feed, join it. I'm gonna be doing a ton of lives, a ton of content, and I'm very confident that more cars are gonna come our way from the OEMs. They always reach out to us a few weeks before, and we probably do something really crazy, but I can say right now, 2 good destinations for you would be the Toyota Pass for one. Okay, there's a 4th one. I'll tell you it'll be twin turbo, domestic, and lifted. I can say that. Toyota Pass would be the go-to, and then future technologies or future tech in Central Hall for SEMA is going to be another one as well. You know, how do you say it? Us thank kicks. I think that's right. It says on YouTube, 2 electric is more fun than almost anything else. I would say yes, but I did put my all-wheel drive Plaid in drift mode, and that was pretty fun. The kids were having a blast. We went to Paris Raceway, and I was misbehaving. So it was a lot of fun, you know? Oh yeah, how do us plebeians get into SEMA this year, says Corvolt. Well, you can go as my spouse and come in the last day, which is, no. I think Friday is now allowed, Corvolt, as a public day. So short of you having industry affiliations and either going through SEMA as a member or as a shop, or having a shop help you with a ticket, you can talk to me about that as well. It's kind of tough unless you want to come in Friday as a well-wisher, someone who's interested in our industry. They can come in as a public day. But just, write to me, and then let's see what we can do to help you out. I would love 1JZ SC430, do it for Diego. Sammy, that's a lot. I don't quite understand, but please. I got invited once by email when I was doing a smog station. When I was in a smog station? I don't quite say it. No, RNS smog station. You should go anytime, guys. SEMA is like the mecca when it comes to anything aftermarket performance. That is the place to be. Please come by. It is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic indeed. My car was on fast too, says Sir Sig. One of those cars that went from that big garage. Love to see you represent the J Series since they're going back to the roots of LA. Yes, that'd be great indeed. I would gladly have them take the Odyssey. I'd gladly take the blue twin turbo Porsche. Whatever they need, by all means, we can make it happen. Diego Ciego, Fat 5 Racing, Drift King in Japan. Ah, okay, forgive me. I wasn't quite aware. Forgive me indeed. Well, guys, another thing I need you to forgive me for. Thank you, Kevin. I'm always willing to share knowledge, absolutely, and so do you. That's why I appreciate you so much. We need to go shooting again, by the way. Kevin is great. He's teaching me so much about protection and shooting and guns, and he's an amazing individual. So, Kevin, we need to get together soon. I know it's warm now, which is good, because this used to be really cold when we used to go out up in the mountains, but please let's get together very soon. Greetings to wifey and everything, and hopefully all is well. And guys, not to ignore all of you, forgive me. Kevin is just a good friend. I appreciate everything you guys do. Wills Ass says, love what you're doing, man. Keep it up. Thank you so much for the kind gesture, and also the #3 gifter badge on TikTok. Appreciate you indeed. Have a good afternoon, guys. Stay safe, stay cool, and please take my advice as well as you can. Remain open-minded. We are in a wonderful time as enthusiasts. We have so much variety, so much great stuff. We have domestics, imports, we have electric, we have petrol, we have hybrids, we have diesels, we have hydrogen, we have some people building cars that run on acetone, ethanol, E85, E90. Enjoy life, guys. Let's do what's just amazing for our industry. Let's have fun. Let's make money. Let's stay safe. Let's enjoy life. Take care, everyone. Cheers.